knock off the ring rust and get back into his winning ways.
And a hard leg kick to start things off by Rotonda Scott. And this is a guy that has a 27-second head kick knockout on his resume here at the NFC. So expect the fight to be finished at any moment when you got someone like Rotonda Scott inside there.
Coming from a great camp, wearing the Rotonda Scott shorts.
And you just see the technical prowess of this kid. It's improving every single time we see him. He feels more confident in there. And he really feels like the early parts of his career, he took the wrong fights. But now he's starting to evolve his game. He's starting to take the right steps. And he feels like now he's primed to show the best version of himself to date.
Well, he's definitely got a wily veteran here. You know, Kiara's had a lot of experience. We're in the advanced amateur, so we're going to strike on the ground.
You know, for Mrwest, it's kind of a crossroads fight. You know, this would be a big opportunity for him to come out here, get a win over a guy as well respected as Rotonda Scott. That could only elevate him to that next level. And for Rotonda Scott, he wants to keep his spot here and show that, hey, if you're going to beat me, it's going to take a serious effort.
Joyce, he's staying at distance, kind of peppering out, not a very strong leg kick. Neither one of these guys super active, maybe feeling each other out. Got two guys with a lot of experience, but not a lot of wins. They're still trying to figure it out, but they're fighting a lot. Are they improving in the gym, and they bring those improvements back into the cage?
100%. And that's what it comes down to here. You know, both guys feeling each other out. Looks like Rotonda wants to get off on some of those leg kicks, but as you see now, Kiara's trying to time the kicks with some straight punches down the middle.
Kiara definitely needs to get a little closer. Rotonda's peppering out long jab. You got to get inside that. You can't stay at the end of that power punch range. But you can't be going backwards and sitting back. You're not going to connect.
100%. So it's going to be interesting to see who takes a big risk here, you know?
Again, right now, no one is. That was Rotonda trying to come through space with a big left hook. Didn't land. Back out with the jab. I would assume we'll start seeing that jab again. Nice leg kick. I'd like to see some hands in front of it.
And you know, I like the fact that he went down to the calf. That's a technique we've been seeing more and more these days, even though lots of guys used to utilize it back in the day, but it's only gotten the attention, recognition most recently.
It's had a resurgence for sure, and you know, you see the guys at the highest level, the UFC, the elite of the athletes, they're going to pressure test that, and you know if it works at that level, that it's something you should be looking at to add to your game, so you're seeing these amateurs start doing it.
And I think you wobbled Kiara there with a right hand at the end of the round.
There you go. So we end that first round. A little bit of action there at the end. A lot of feeling out, but some punches landed. I got to think Rotonda was still landing a little more active, coming forward a little bit more. I'd give him that first round.
And you know, back on the subject of the low calf kicks, the reason they're so effective is because unlike the kick to the thigh, which don't get me wrong, that's brutal as well, but you know, you can get off on 20 of those, maybe 30 of those. But when you talk about the calf kicks, it only takes 3 or 4 before you seriously impair the movement of your opponent.
You can definitely think of some fights. Faber versus Aldo, his thigh and his calf were the same color, but he stayed up even though his leg ended up. Remember Randy Couture back in the day against Big Kickboxer God. My memory doesn't work, but that was another fight. But guys getting kicked in the calf, you start to immediately see the toe touching it down and lifting up, and about 3, like you said, 3 or 4, and they're done.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if he notices that opening and tries to capitalize on it here as the fight progresses.
Well, definitely don't want to eat a lot of them. I think we need to see Rotonda throwing that jab again. We definitely need to see Kiara stepping into distance to land his punches.
And let me ask you this. Do you expect anyone to shoot for a takedown in this fight? Because it looks like these two are content standing and banging.
I haven't seen a level change, so I'm going to say no, but Kiara's coming through space. It's the only way he's going to land. He can't stay out at the end of that jab.
And I like those 2 right hands that Kiara landed to start off the round.
Another nice leg kick. That moved him a little bit, but then he's going backwards. I'd like to see him stay moving forward because that's working.
Oh!
Nice head
Goes
kick.
up top with the head kick.
Partially blocked, though. A little smile. No worse for the wear.
That was thrown with serious intent. Flying knee.
Nice, and another one, and then
there it is. There's the entry, and beautiful.
Can he lock his hands, scoop out the hips, jump, nice takedown right there, big slam for Rotonda Scott.
High amplitude takedown. And I like the fact that he had him thinking up high with the flying knee. All of a sudden, the level change came, got him down, and now he's working from half guard.
And he gave up, Kiara gave up the underhook. He had an underhook, it looked like, gave that up. So now you've got a nice cross-side underhook. You're in a good half guard. You can strike to the head, but you still need to advance because you're not going to do as much damage laying chest to chest on someone. You've got to advance through that half guard or at least posture up and throw some strikes. You're winning because you're on top, but you are losing. But the person on bottom is definitely losing if they're not advanced, if they're not doing anything.
And look at that, past the full mat. You can tell the work he's been putting in with Honju Kao on the mat. And that's only going to elevate his game to that next level. Let's see if he can get the finish here.
Definitely talked about Jakao earlier. Seasoned black belt, UFC veteran, one of the best to come out of Georgia. You know he's going to have good jiu-jitsu. He's starting to wrap up that rear naked choke. Kiara not defending, now defending, looking like he might survive this. There was a period of time there where his hands were just flailing about. You got to start peeling off that hand behind your head, trying to dig that chin in.
And this could be the beginning of the end, Rory.
He's fighting hard. I'd like to see Kiara go back to that hand fight, peel those hands off the head. Look, we're open back up again. All right, he's back to hand fighting. Very nice hip turn in the close guard on top now.
And this is going to be interesting from the mental side of things. How does Ramondo recover after having such a dominant position? And there's zero quit in Mrwest. Now he's trying to reverse, trying to get on top of his own. What does this do to the confidence of Rotonda Scott now?
No, I mean, he's in this fight. He came up, he got active, he's moving forward, just stuck his tongue out. He's excited to be in this cage. This is a great fight. Two guys that really need to start getting on that winning track and starting to fight a little bit more and getting W's. Coming here to the end of the round. Not a lot of action.
But another solid round for Rotonda Scott.
For sure. Was on top, was landing punches and kicks, stayed active, moved forward. Again, we talk about generalship of the ring. But again, nothing more needed really than that takedown, being on top and getting a little ground and pound. Another good fight. We go to the scorecard, but another good fight.
You see Honju Kao in the corner of Rotonda Scott giving him some very stern advice. You know, with a guy like Juka, hey, if you take the back of your opponent and don't finish, you know he's going to have a couple extra things to say on Monday in jiu-jitsu class.
For sure. Juka's going to wonder why you didn't finish that. He gets involved. He's excited in the corner. He puts his heart and soul into his team. And like we said, he's been there, he's done that, and he knows what it takes to win and what it feels like to lose.
You know, we're talking about a guy who fought Anderson Silva in the Brazilian regional scene.
Back when you could just pretty much do whatever you wanted, and he got in there and did that. He's a bad man for sure. A very good friend of mine as well.
And for Mrwest, look, he's had some moments in this fight. It's just about the overall, you know, dictation led by Rotonda Scott here. For Mrwest, he's really got to get back into this fight, make a statement here in this third round if he wants any chance of winning. Look, we're not judges. We don't know what the scorecards are, but it would appear as though Rotonda Scott is ahead right now at this point.
Controlling the distance, controlling the pace. He's been on top for sure in both rounds. I mean, not a lot of damage being done really on either side. Maybe some leg kicks, maybe some calf kicks, but their face shows no real wear. They both look pretty fresh. Still got to figure it's 2-0, and like you said, Kiara needs a finish because he's definitely down on the scorecards.
Now, we've seen crazier things with these judges, but I think they probably got this one locked down the right way.
You can only hope so, and sometimes we have been surprised, and I have been on one side, and I've been on the other side, and it doesn't always go the right way.
What does it feel like when you win one that you thought, oh, it's going to go to the other guy?
You feel pretty good. You know, you still walk into the end of it unless you got brutalized. You still have to feel confident that you did enough. But if you got a little bit of doubt and then just sort of indicated, yeah, I did do enough, I won that fight, you feel great about it, to be honest.
Now, in your long mixed martial arts career, has there ever been a fight where you were like, man, there's no way I won this one, and then they announce your name the winner?
Well, I know I've been on a side where I was pretty sure I was going to win when I fought Tajiro Matsui back in Pride Best in Japan. I was like, I beat him up. His face was mush. But I was in Japan. He was coming off Pride, and I might have got a little hometown. So it definitely that definitely doesn't feel good.
For those tuning in at home, Daniel Levy here with UFC and Pride veteran Rory Singer, watching a nice 3-round fight here between Rotonda Scott and Mrwest. Rotonda Scott in full control so far.
Slowed down a little bit, a little less volume. I'd like to see Romano get back to pumping that jab out a little bit. As my friend Chris Connolly in SPG Birmingham says, pump that stick, pump that stick. You're going to keep a guy at distance. You're going to set him up for the right hand. You're just going to establish distance, and you're going to be controlling the pace of the fight.
And what's the mental dynamic like when you feel like you're clearly up 2-0? Do you go in there and take unnecessary risk, or do you have a tendency to kind of coast and you like just ride it out a little bit?
I think the football analogy my brother would make if he were here with you to share would say prevent defense prevents you from winning. So you can't, when another human being is trying to take your head off, snap your arms in half, and take home prizes, you can't sit back and allow anyone an opportunity to get that one big punch or one big knee if it's a pro fight later. You don't want to be in there any longer than you have to. I believe the champions are the ones that are going forward and trying to win fights.
Well said.
But again, sort of feeling this out a little bit. Not a lot of hands being thrown, just little kick for kick right there.
You know, in my opinion, it's really up to Mrwest to go out there and make something happen here. As Rotonda Scott, he can stay on the outside, dance around a little bit. Like we said, almost coast to a victory. Now, that's not... Oh, and you see there? That's what Mrwest needed.
Right hand down the middle. Too little, too late. Let's see. He's on top. We do have punching to the head. It is an advanced amateur. It's a nice catch of the kick. Watch it on replay. Nice straight right hand. He's locked up in that close guard, though, and he needs great space to get some strikes off. He's got to get a finish.
Armbar attempt.
You got a
short time.
Armbar here, but I don't believe you're going to have enough time on the clock to finish this. He wants to slam, no. Right to the end. Again, too little, too late. It was one round. It was part of one round. Unfortunately, I would have liked to have seen that earlier in the fight. There might have been something there for Bianca, but I'm giving that one to Rotonda.
Nice 3-round affair between Rotonda Scott and Mrwest, and now it's in the judges' hands.